Before wires, batteries, or Wi-Fi, African civilizations were already mastering energy. Not electricity, but spiritual technology. These stone circles weren't just random piles of rocks. They were carefully arranged to form specific shapes and patterns. And those shapes and patterns had special meanings and uses. Now let us look at how all these examples fit together and what they reveal about the ancient Africans' worldview. They integrated their technology into everyday activities like dancing, drumming, and chanting. This is spiritual technology, and it's still alive if you know where to look. Through these practices, they charge the body like a battery, storing and releasing energy as needed. It's a fascinating look into one of the most mysterious and advanced civilizations in history. They didn't rely on external sources or machines. They generated their own power. This is why their technology was so resilient and sustainable. It didn't depend on rare materials or complex mechanisms. It depended on the most basic and abundant resources, the earth, sound, and the spirit. Their technology wasn't a tool for control or domination. It was a tool for balance and harmony. They knew that true energy didn't come from machines, but from vibration, intention, and connection. They didn't seek to exploit or manipulate the universe. They sought to cooperate with it. First, they saw the earth as a living being, a source of energy and wisdom. They respected and honored the earth in all its forms and never exploited or abused its resources. They knew the earth's natural rhythms and cycles and lived in harmony with them. For example, many ancient sites are aligned with solstices and equinoxes, the times of the year when the Earth's axis is tilted at 23.5 degrees relative to the sun. These alignments suggest that ancients observed and tracked the sun's path across the sky and understood its importance in sustaining life. They also used the Earth's magnetic field for navigation and orientation. The magnetic field is a force that surrounds the Earth and extends into space. It has a north and south pole and helps us navigate using compasses. The ancient Egyptians, for example, built their pyramids aligned with the magnetic poles. This allowed them to use the magnetic field for orientation and navigation. They also built their tombs and temples along fault lines or cracks in the Earth's crust. These fault lines were considered channels of energy that connected the physical world with the spirit world. The ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaohs could use these channels to travel to the afterlife after death. They also built their cities and settlements along rivers and other sources of water. Water is a powerful conductor of energy, and the ancient Egyptians knew that it could amplify and distribute energy throughout a city. Some were circular and others were more complex, but all of them followed the same principles of sacred geometry. But what's amazing about these stone circles is that they also create sound frequencies when struck or exposed to chant. That's right. These ancient Africans were using sound healing and earth resonance long before modern science caught up. They knew that every object had a unique vibration, and they could use that vibration to affect the human body and mind. For example, the stones in a stone circle could be arranged to form a tuning fork. When struck, the stones would emit a specific sound frequency that could relax the mind or body. Or they could arrange the stones in a pattern that created a standing wave or note of energy. When chanting, the stones would amplify and resonate the sound, making it louder and more powerful. And it's not just theory. Archaeologists have actually recorded the sound frequencies emitted by various stone circles in southern Africa. You can listen to them online and experience the magic for yourself. And some researchers believe that the ancients could even shift consciousness using sound. By using specific sound frequencies, they could alter brain waves and induce altered states of consciousness. This is why many stone circles are found near sacred groves, springs, and other natural features that enhance energy. They created whole sonic landscapes that supported spiritual practices and rituals. Pyramids and shrines using sacred geometry, the same patterns found in flowers, DNA, and galaxies. These patterns weren't just artistic. They were energy containers that helped the spirit align with higher consciousness. They used geometric shapes like circles, squares, triangles, and hexagons because they believed these shapes resonated with the universe's energy. For example, the Dogon people of Mali built their shrines in the shape of the Milky Way galaxy. They believed this galaxy was a great source of energy and wisdom. They also built their villages in the shape of a drum to mimic the heartbeat of the universe. And in Ethiopia, the ancient Aksumite Empire built obelisks aligned with the cardinal directions. These obelisks were tuned to specific frequencies that resonated with the Earth's energy. They also built underground tunnels and chambers that amplified and directed energy. What's even more fascinating is that many of these sacred sites are aligned across a global grid, including the pyramids of Egypt, the Dogon Sirius shrines in Mali, and Aksum's obelisks in Ethiopia. This grid connected different parts of Africa and the world through invisible energy pathways. It allowed the ancients to communicate, travel, and share knowledge across vast distances. This is why some researchers believe the ancient Africans were highly advanced and had access to technologies beyond our understanding. Stone circles, sacred sound, and geometry, they weren't just architecture, but machines for the soul. Let us take you back to a time when temples were tuned like instruments and the earth itself was the power source. So they understood energy in a much broader sense, including spiritual, emotional, and mental vibrations, not just electrons and volts. So how did they do this? First, we have to understand that our ancestors didn't see the world the same way as us. They didn't split the universe into separate subjects like physics and metaphysics. Everything was connected. They saw themselves as part of nature, not separate from it. This is why we can't measure their tech with our current scientific tools, because it operated on a different frequency, literally. The pyramids as energy devices. Second, the ancient Africans were deeply connected to the earth. The great pyramids of Kemet weren't just tombs for pharaohs, they were spiritual reactors. They absorbed and amplified energy from the earth and cosmos. Some say the three pyramids, aligned with the stars of Orion's belt, aren't a coincidence, but a deliberate connection to higher realms. These sound frequencies could be used for healing, meditation, and other spiritual practices. The pyramids are made of granite, a great conductor of energy, and lined with millions of pieces of quartz, which store and amplify energy. The inner chambers were designed to resonate when sound was produced, turning the whole pyramid into a giant tuning fork. They were tuned to cosmic frequencies, absorbing energy from the sun and stars and radiating it back to Earth. But what kind of energy and for what purpose? This is why people reported hearing mysterious humming sounds inside the pyramids. But some researchers believe the pyramids were used to charge water, which was considered the essence of life. They believed the universe operated like an orchestra, everything vibrating at its own frequency. The design allowed sound waves to bounce off the granite walls, creating standing waves or nodes of energy. It also explains why the pyramids often had pools of water at their base, which could have been used for ceremonies and rituals. The pyramids acted like an antenna, receiving and transmitting energy into the atmosphere. This is why some believe they were not burial grounds, but spiritual amplifiers and transmitters. All over Africa, from Nubia to Mali to Ethiopia, ancient Africans built temples. We don't know for sure because much of their knowledge was lost or suppressed. The water was pumped from deep underground through secret tunnels and then distributed throughout the kingdom. This would explain why the Egyptians built many of their pyramids near the Nile River, one of the world's longest and most powerful energy lines. They didn't wait for a special occasion or a place to use it. They recognized the Earth's natural energy and used it to their advantage. Their technology was based on resonance and harmony. So their tech often involved tuning devices and spaces to specific frequencies to match the universe as natural vibrations. Now let's dive into some examples. For example, many ancient sites are built on ley lines or earth energy grids, places where the earth's natural energy is strong. Stone circles and sonic healing. In southern Africa, there are thousands of ancient stone circles, especially around what's now called Adam's calendar. And finally, energy from earth, sound, and spirit. They integrated their technology into daily life. It wasn't something separate or mysterious. So the next time someone tells you Africa was behind in technology, tell them we were just on a different frequency. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more hidden wisdom from the motherland. Until we meet again.